Trump did it again. He ruined the party for us with a new announcement. I'm going to show you exactly what he did and why Bitcoin is reacting the way that we are currently seeing the price action. I'm not alone today. I'm here with a little monster that likes also to be in the cam, so don't miss out on that. And guys, you know the drill. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm gonna jump directly into what's happening in the market right now because roughly an hour ago, Trump came out and said, you know what, zero tariffs on everybody for 90 days, but not on China. China is the one country where I'm gonna keep the tariffs up, and they total now up to 145%. And this is the reason why the market reacted the way that it did, even though we got good CPI readings and no tariffs on 90 days for everybody else, and the market is still like, but if China gets tariffs, we need to dump again. So you can also clearly see that here on the CNBC news article that Donald Trump here dramatically reversed course, dropping his country-specific tariffs down to a universal 10% rate for all trade partners except China. So now from 0 to 10%, which is not that bad. But then with China, that's a different thing. So China tariffs rate will jump to 125%, effective immediately, the White House said. So and that's why Bitcoin moved to the downside. So the DXY at the same time broke also to the downside. So finally at 101%, but that does not really help us as long as Trump is messing around with the tariffs, because now the DXY not as correlated anymore as they were and have kind of decoupled, going in the same direction, which we did not want to see. We want when the DXY goes down, Bitcoin goes up, and everything else too. And right now, when the DXY goes down, Bitcoin goes down. This is not what we want to see. So, but I can tell you guys, the best way to trade and protect yourself from massive losses is that you go here to PIONEX, sign up, get your $1,000 by completing some simple tasks for new users. You can see it here all, and use the SpotGrid bot, guys. Use the SpotGrid bot. There is a link to my strategy in the pinned comment below and in the description below, and also the link where you just sign up, guys. So make use of that. On the PIONEX bot, I showed you in the past that we had marginal losses compared to the rest of the market. This is still the case, so make use of that while you can. Jumping into the Bitcoin weekly chart, we are still forming here a doji candle, which is okay. We have roughly 3.5 days left until the market candle. The stochastic is here at the bottom oversold, which is fine. The RSI is still pointing kind of to the upside. Nothing has really changed here. We need to wait for Sunday to see how this candle is closing, but even if we close as it is, there is a huge chance that in the following week we're going to get a pump at least into the golden ratio up here and into the downward sloping trend line. On the lower time frames on a 12-hourly chart, you can clearly see that we got a double rejection. We got a rejection from the EMA ribbon and the upward sloping trend line that was before support, now acting as resistance. While at the same time the stochastic is coming up here. The RSI looks like that it wants slightly to turn around here, and the MACD was just about to give us a buy signal. That might also change if we are not making here good on some ground, back to the upside at least to like $80,000. On the other hand, when we go into the 4-hourly chart, here the trade that I've given you with the help of the MDX algo scalp gradients and the reactor indicator has perfectly played out. We hit our target. So congratulations to anybody that took the trade that I've given here absolutely for free, guys. That one single pump brought us into our take profit zone. Like I said, you should have closed the trade there. Preferably, if you're still in the trade, you kind of round tripped a little bit if you did not made a stop loss here at around $80,000. So not the worst. You can keep holding the trade because I think it's going to reverse. Also here from the scalp gradients, when you look at the color, we are now here at purple. From purple, usually we go back into red. Worst case scenario, we go into blue, then into red. So then that would mean that we come a little bit lower, most likely back to entry, then start taking off again. So the reactor indicator is here in an indecision position. You cannot really tell where we are going, and we need like 1 or 2 more candles for that. But that we are currently getting supported from the weekly open is a good sign. I have still my Bitcoin trade also running here on ZoomX, guys. Remember I spoke about this the other day. So this trade is still running. Now I can finally set here my stop loss at well, $78,000 is where I wanted to set the stop loss, 51, with roughly at least $400. If this trade goes against me, and then I rinse and repeat the whole trade just at a lower entry level. And again, guys, take advantage of the lucky draw here to get tickets to the Formula 1, to Miami or Monaco. You have every single day the chance to win something here from the lucky draw, guys. The only thing that you need to do is trade on ZoomX, and the more you trade, the more entries you get for the lucky draw to win here 1 Bitcoin, 1 Ethereum, $1,000, or tickets to Monaco and Miami. Again, guys, this is an all expenses paid trip. You not only get VIP tickets to Formula 1, you get also access to the paddock where you can talk with the drivers, most of them. You get a 3 nights 5-star luxury hotel. Everything is paid, flight, everything, and you fly at least business class to the event, to Monaco or Miami. So make use of the link in the description below and the pin comment below to get your entries here. And if it's not Miami, maybe it's, like I said, $1,000 or even 1 Bitcoin, and the 1 Bitcoin would be even better because then you can go yourself and half of the money would be still on the table, you know, so which is also nice. So now here on the liquidation levels, I actually believe that we will come down and take out here these two liquidation levels at $77,500 and $78,000 approximately. There's a high chance that we come down here, then bounce back to the upside. So that's at least what I'm looking at. I still believe that here the high leverage liquidity at around $85,000 will be swept before the weekend. So we're going to get here for some, maybe again a Trump announcement. We're going to get a catalyst here back to the upside, or another country comes out and says, you know what, forget about all the tariffs, we are not playing that game anymore. Whatever it will be, I still believe we're going to get a reason why we are going to go to $85,000 before the weekend. Another reason for that is also that all the liquidity here on the liquidation heat map is concentrated around $85,000 currently. We have here $132 million sitting only at that specific level. And when you go here all the way down, way more. So we're talking about like $400-500 million worth of short liquidations that market makers can grab if they push the price up. Here to the downside, there's not as much. So again, maybe we go down here to clear that, and then we are going back to the upside. The Bitcoin dominance is back into the rising wedge pattern. Sorry guys, quite late here for me, and I also have to get up super early again tomorrow for diving. That we are going to see here something like this, you know, so it will be rather something like this in my opinion. Just be a little bit more patient, guys. You know, we are not that far away from this actually to be happening. So the total free market cap also got rejected on the downward sloping trend line here once again. I want to see another retest, and at the retest, preferably a breakout. If we are getting here one more time rejected, then we will definitely come back here to $700 billion. All my altcoins are traded on Bybit, guys. I'm going to show you now some altcoins. If you want to trade them, go to Bybit, get $30,000, and also get exclusive events like Formula 1 invited to, like on ZoomX, you know. So there's a link in the pin comment below and the description if you want to make use of that. Now, Ethereum broke down here from that falling wedge pattern. We were forming here a W, but also got rejected on the neckline here at $1,650. That is also a crucial resistance level. I was not really surprised to see that. Now we are most likely going back down to like 1,450, and from there I expect then a move back to the upside. So why that low? Because the stochastic RSI has way more room to go to the downside. The MACD turnaround, the RSI is going here kind of sideways, but that can easily turn when these both indicators also turn around and the price just pushes 2% lower. Solana also most likely will go back into here, this buy cluster from $106 to $101. So also here I would set buy orders, and then again, like the last time I told you, around this level here, take profit on that trade. Do the same thing again, you know. So when we come back up here to the downward sloping trend line, take profits, set your stop losses into break even or slightly in profit after you already took profit, to make sure that you're not risking anything anymore, and then you wait to see if the downward trend line gets broken and we continue to go to the upside, and you take there the rest of the profit. But right now it looks like we're coming down into this zone here where we can set our buy limits, because the stochastic, same thing like with Ethereum, is coming down, MACD is coming down, RSI looking to come down here a little bit more than on Ethereum, hence why we are going another 3-4% lower before we try to climb higher again. Guys, that's it already for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a quick update. Don't forget, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. And tomorrow you're actually going to see me again from my office. Bye bye.